Today we are about to discuss the final concept of test of reasoning. This is called quantitative reasoning. Students, now we are about to start quantitative reasoning. Students, now just listen to me. So this particular question is actually we call it as quantitative reasoning. In this question actually we will be dealing reasoning with a little bit of calculations. So it doesn't make any actually there doesn't make any difference when it comes to quantitative reasoning, qualitative reasoning. So far we used to discuss reasoning where we don't have any calculations. Now in this particular concept we will be dealing this question having a little calculations, but doesn't mean to say that you need to be a qualified mathematician to answer these questions. It's not like that. Students, just listen to me. So we are about to discuss the questions basing on simple calculations. Here we go. So the question number 1, suppose you have sufficient amount of currencies. Yes, students, now just listen to me, man. So if you have a sufficient amount of rupee currency in 3 denominations, 1 rupee, 10 rupee and 50 rupees, in how many different ways can you pay a bill of 107 rupees? This is very interesting questions. Come on student, please give a try. Let me see how you are answering the question. Come on students, give a try. But you have to make sure that in how many ways you can pay a bill of 107 with a different denominations. You can pay with 1 rupee, you can pay with 10 rupees and 1 rupee, something like. You can use the different combinations. Go ahead. Come on student, go ahead man. So let me see how you answer this question. So there are some options given to you and you check it out whether your answer is right or wrong. Please go ahead. Student, I just want to give a clue for you, and if you want to pay a bill of 107 rupees, you can pay the bill with all 1 rupee notes. I think you understand this. This is model number 1. You can also pay a bill of 107 rupees with a combination of 1 rupee and of course 10 rupees notes. I hope you understand what I mean. And you can pay a bill, you can pay a bill of 107 with a combination of 1 rupee and of course 50 rupee notes. What do you think? Come on student, please give a try, let me see what is your answer. Give a try. Let me know some answer from your side. Okay, somebody says 16 different ways. Are you sure man, is that correct answer? I just want to know what is your answer for this question. Yeah, somebody says 16. Is 16 is the final answer or would you like to comment on something else? Yes, student, please. Come on, man. Come on, man. Yeah. Okay. Come on, student. Okay. Yeah, students, this particular topic we call it as quantitative reasoning. So this is nothing but reasoning, but of course a little bit of calculations. Come on, student. Yeah. This is the final topic in test of reasoning. We will be dealing all the questions in this topic, and with this we are going to come to a conclusion. Yeah. Okay, somebody says 16 and somebody even says 17 man. Let me see what is your answer for this question. Come on students. So for this, what I told you is we need to have some different combinations. So combination number 1. We can pay all these, we can pay 107 rupees, of course, with all 1 rupee notes, isn't it? So this can be paid in one way, 107 into 1, that is 107. This is combination number 1. I think you understand that. Okay, this is combination number 1. Here we go. So students, now we see second option, that is with 1 rupee notes and 10 rupee notes. 1 rupee notes and 10 rupee notes. You understand, my dear students? So how we can pay that? You see, you have a very simple technique. If you use 1 10 rupee note, and we can use a 97, you understand, my dear students? Just listen to me. Let me explain you. So student, first of all, I just want to note down all this. So with 1 rupee note, you can pay 107 in one way. Okay, this is number 1. So now let me give you second model. What is second model? You know, we can pay amount with a combination of 10 rupees and 1 rupee. So tell me how, man? Yes, we have a simple technique. Tell me. 10 10 rupee notes plus 7 1 rupee notes. I hope you understand. That is about 107. Okay, yeah. 9 10 rupee notes. I hope you understand this. 17 1 rupee notes. Like that, you can make 107. What, man? You understand that? Okay, yeah. 8 10 rupee notes. 8 10 rupee notes. 27 1 rupee notes. You can make 107. Students, I think you are able to understand what is my point. What, man? Am I clear to you, students? I hope yes. Okay, somebody says 16. Let me check it out whether 16 is your final answer or we can make even more. Okay, let me check it out. Okay. Yes, students, please listen to me. So, now again 7 10 rupee notes plus 37 1 rupee notes, you can make 107. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, you can make it 10. Therefore, these kind of combinations will be getting 10. This kind of combinations we will be getting 10. With a combination of 10 rupees and 1 rupee, we get 10 combinations. I hope you understand, my dear students. Students, do you understand what I mean by saying 10 combinations, man? Yeah, very good morning, students. Very good morning to all of you. Do you understand, students? Do you understand what I mean by saying 10 combinations? Please respond. Am I clear to you? Am I clear to you? Please respond. Am I clear to you, man? I said 10 combinations you will be getting from a denomination of. Okay, somebody asking me to explain this particular concept once again. No problem, we can do it. That's not a very big issue, man. We can definitely do it. Yeah. Student, yes, that's very well done. Yeah. Student, so 10 rupees notes, 7 1 rupee note. That is 170. 9 10 rupees notes, 17 1 rupee notes. I hope you understand this. If you reduce this by 1, you will be increasing this particular number, and like that we will be getting 10 combinations. Come on, student. Now please tell me. Therefore, this is one combination, this is 1, and then 10. Okay. So far, we have 11 combinations. Now we move on to model number 3. That is with the combination of 50 rupees and 1 rupee. Because you have to pay a sum of. Yeah. That's very good. So we have to pay a sum of 107 rupees. Ready? Now let us see. So how many chances you get, students? So if you pay 150 rupee note, you can pay 57 1 rupee notes. That makes 107. And if you pay 250 rupee notes and you can pay 7 1 rupee notes, that makes 107. Students, am I clear to you, man? Am I clear to you? I hope yes. I think yes. I hope yes. So yeah, very good morning, students. So now right. So two combinations. Tell me, student, with all 1 rupee note, one combination. With the combination of 10 rupees and 1 rupee, 10 combinations. With 50 rupee and 1 rupee, 2 combinations. I hope you understand that. Okay. Now let me see the next one. Model number 4. Tell me, student, with a combination of 1 rupee, 10 rupee, and then 50 rupee. So the combination of 10, 1 and 50 rupee. Let me tell you, my dear students. First we start with 50 rupee. If you take 150 rupee, come on, student, we can take, come on, 110 rupee plus all the remaining 1 rupee notes. 50 plus 10, 60, and hence the remaining 47 1 rupee note. What, man? I hope you understand this. 150 rupee, 110 rupee, 47 1 rupee. Come on. 150 rupee, 210 rupees. Come on, student. 37 1 rupee. That makes 107. 150 rupee. Come on, student. 310 rupees. Come on. 27 1 rupee, I hope you understand. 50 you keep only one, but tens 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So these kind of combinations we will be getting 5. What man? Is this clear? Is this clear to you? We will be getting 5 combinations, 1 rupee, 10 rupees and 15 rupees. I hope you understand, my dear students. 10 rupee, 1 rupee, 10 rupee and 15 rupees, we get 5 combinations. Students, please respond. Am I clear to you or not? Please respond. Please, come on. Am I clear to you, man? Do you understand what I mean by saying 5 combinations? I hope you understand this. This is really interesting, you know. All the questions are very much related to you because you can easily understand, but in hurry, there is every possibility of making the mistake. So usually if you commit any mistake, it is only out of your hurriness, nothing more than that, because this question is so easy to answer. Come on student, am I clear to you or not? Please tell me, man. Yes or no? Yeah, very good morning students. So it seems that some of you have just logged on. Okay, good, right. Very good, right. Somebody says no. May I know why you are saying no, man? This topic is called quantitative reasoning. This is the final topic, man. Therefore, come on student, you please let us come to the final. Let us see. So with all 1 rupee notes, we can make only one combination, man. And with the combination of 1 rupee and 10 rupees, we can make 10 combinations. We have just seen that. With the combination of 1 rupee and 50 rupees, we can make 2 combinations. I hope you know that. Now 1 rupee, 10 rupee and 50 rupee, by using all the 3 denominations, we can make 5, man, and hence your answer is 18. Your answer is 18. So most of you put only 16 initially, and later some of you said 17 as well, but your correct answer is 18. Yeah, very good. Yes, students, so this is your answer. So this is a very interesting question. Not really complicated, but actually what happens, in hurry, we miss some of the possibilities. You can ask me, sir, how can't and how we can avoid not actually missing any chance there is a possibility. Yes, students. Actually, you might have seen, my dear students, with the combination of 10 rupees and 1 rupee, you see how just really tried it? 10 rupee notes. Come on, student. 7 1 rupee notes. That makes 107. I started with the bigger number. Once I reduce by 1, what happens, you need to increase this by 10. I hope you understand this. You make 107. Slowly you try to reduce this particular number by 1. Slowly you reduce this particular number by 1. You can improve this number by 10. So that is how we can make. Therefore, these kind of combinations we will be getting 10. 10, 9, 8, 7. You have to come from the top and just come down. Thereby, you will never be missing any of the chance. I hope you understand this. Okay, man? I hope you understand this. Okay? So this is called quantitative reasoning, man. Not really problem. Yeah, of course, not calculation, man. You can't say this is mathematics. You can't say this is calculation. This is what we call is simple common sense reasoning. Yeah, students. Yes. Therefore, I think now you are comfortable. Now I think we can move on to next question, man. Now here we go. Question number 2. Can you tell me, man? Can you tell me? Just read the question and just try to answer the question. Read the question and make your mind clear. Then you can easily answer this question. Come on. Just read the question. Right. Please answer this question, man. Just because this particular topic, I just want to know how attentive you are. Only after getting your answer, maybe I will be able to answer. Please, come on, make it fast. Let me see how you are answering this question. Give some answer. Read the question, make some comments of your own, then we will be able to comment on. Come on, go ahead. When your college reopens, I don't know, man. So again, you are putting the same question to me. Instead, you might have put this question to your government, because that is only one. Okay, come on, student. Yes, please go ahead. Hopefully, within very few days, I think your college is going to reopen. You are very enthusiastic to get into college. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, come on, student. Please respond. Somebody says the second option. Somebody says 27. People say 27. People say 18. Come on. Let me see. Oh, okay, student. Please be careful. Be careful. Please give some answer. With using your common sense, please give some answer. If you are unable to get it right, maybe I'm able to help you. Because if I don't know what is your answer, obviously I may not be able to get. Okay, somebody says 18 and somebody says 27. Okay. I could see from the options you are giving to me, probably many of you are seem to be right. Okay, man. Okay. That's very good. Now, students, please stop responding, man. Please stop responding. So, the best way to handle this question is forget about the question that is given to you. Forget about the question that is given to you. Forget about that. Just forget about. Okay. Now, I just want to give you some interesting example. Probably by this, you will be able to handle this question without any confusion. Okay, man. Now, just forget about the answer. Please don't respond, man. Don't respond. Absolutely. Please just look at me. Let me give you some clarification. Student, in one particular school, there are two Hindu boys. And there are two Muslim boys. And let me suppose that there are two Christian boys. Okay, man? Okay. Now, I just want to give a comment to you. Please just make sure that what I am telling you is right or no. Now, just listen to me. Here we go. In a school, I could see that there are two Hindu boys, two Muslims, and then we have two Christians. Students, now just let me tell you. In this particular school, except for all are Hindus. In this particular school, except for all are Hindus. Please comment whether my statement is right or wrong. Except for all are Hindus. Please tell me whether my comment is right or wrong. Yes or no? You understand how could I able to comment on this? I'm ignoring these four. And I can say that except these four, all the remaining are Hindus only. So, except for all are Hindus. Am I clear to you, man? Am I clear to you? Yes, can I say this word or not? I hope yes or no. I can use the statement no. I can definitely use the statement except for all are Hindus. Yes, absolutely correct. Yes, student. Now, please listen to me. In the same question, in the same class, I can also use the word except for all are Muslims. All are okay Christians. Let us assume that except for all are Christians. Isn't it? Absolutely. If you want to say this statement, probably you are ignoring these four and you say that except these four, all are Christians. Except these four, all are Christians. I hope you understand, my dear students. What, man? Am I clear to you? I hope you understand what is my point. Yes, absolutely yes. No, you people say that yes, you are absolutely clear. Students, when you are absolutely clear, please come again this question and please respond to this question, man. Yeah, statement 1 is right. Of course, statement 2 is also right. Because if you want to say that except for all are Christians, probably you are ignoring these 4 and all the remaining are Christians. I hope you understand that. And when you are confident in answering this question, man, can you come again? Can you come? Just look at the question and please try to answer the question. If you say I am absolutely clear to you, can you tell the answer for the question number 2 once again? I could see that none of you really give the correct answer so far. Probably this time you will be able to get the answer right. Please come again. Come again, man. No, no, no. Wonderful. That's very good. That's very good, student. One student really responded very well. Yeah, very. What about the other people? Let me see, because once we have taken an example, obviously now we don't make any mistake. Right. Wonderful, that's absolutely. Student, if you want to see this particular statement to be true, a boy when asked about the number of balls he has in a bag, he replied that there were all blue except 6. There were all blue except 6. Probably he will be able to answer this question something like that. Blue, green, and then we have ducks. So if you want to say the statement to be true, there may be 3 blue balls, 3 green balls, and there are 3 ducks. And which means to say that we can have 9 balls in total. Come on, student. Just make it right. So whether your statement is right or wrong, just verify that. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. That's very well done. You understand that? Please, for example, if I take 3 blue balls, 3 green and 3 ducks, just read out the statement. He replied that there were all blue but 6. There were all blue but 6. If you remove the 6, all the remaining are blue. I hope you understand that. All green but 6. All green but 6. All ducks but 6. I hope you understand this. And for your information, my dear students, your answer should be we have 9 balls in total. It was absolutely misleading that some of you said 18, many of you said 18, but the fact is your answer should be 9. You understand that? So this is a very interesting question. Student, yes please. Yeah, somebody put some answer. How can we? Yeah, this is how we can take, man. This is how we can take. That is what actually I proved, you know. How ducks? Okay. Okay, ducks. No. Please do not understand the ducks. It is nothing. You understand ducks is nothing but an animal. No. This is nothing but a ball. We can give a ball. That is the name of the ball, man. We can give, no problem. Okay, you understood that duck is an animal. No, it is not like that. It is not like that. I hope you understand, my dear students. So, for your information, student, if you able to, if any confusion in the given question, we can take some counter example to justify that what we are doing is right. And if we can handle that question by taking the counter example, we say that we are slowly improving our reasoning. Reasoning is a process that you need to improve of your own by taking different examples. That is the beauty of the topic. You understand that? Okay. Now, student, now let me move on to next question, man. Question number 3. Students, can you answer question number 3? Can you answer question number 3? If you cannot, you are unable to answer the question straight away, you can take some counter example. You can take some counter example and by the way, you can get the answer. Please go ahead. Come on, man. Go ahead. If you cannot answer this question straight away, you can take some counter example. Student, yes, what is your comment, man? Student, regarding your college admissions and all that, I am not the right person, student. I am sorry to say that. I may not be able to make any comment on that. When your college opens, it is all not my concern. I may not be able to answer your question. Okay, please respond. Student, please look at question number 3, man. But I can only say one thing, that once your college opens, you will never be having this much of time to get into this topic. Probably you are so fortunate that you have got sufficient time to improve your reasoning, which is going to play very important role in career. Okay, career building. This is because one of the major topics, in fact. We have sufficient time to cover all the topics. Really, the time is really very well used, in fact. Come on, student, please, question number 3, man. So my suggestion to you, if you think yeah. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Somebody seemed to be answering well, but what about the other persons? What about the other persons? Okay. Okay, student, yo, that is the point. That is the point. Okay, that is the point. Okay. Yeah, student, I could see that you are giving different answers. Probably you are little confusing for sure. Okay, man, no problem. Now just listen to the question. Listen to the question and maybe you are able to answer this. Student, read the question seriously, man. You will be able to get the answer. Read the question seriously. What is the question you are given? Here we go. Yeah, the 20 members of a club decided to play a chess tournament. Every time a member loses a game, he is out of the tournament. He is out of the tournament. This is what we call as a knockout. There are no ties. There are no ties, which means to say that there must be a result. What is the minimum number of the matches that must be played to determine the winner? So, student, probably it is too difficult to straight away start with 20 members, because 20 members is a big number. Whenever you have this kind of confusion, the best technique, shall I tell you? You better take, in place of 20, if you take, there are 2 persons. Student, please listen to me. If let me suppose that let me consider a case where there are only 2 people, and if there are only 2 people, let us assume that A and B. So obviously the winner can be decided only in one match, because between A and B only one match will be played. Obviously the winner will be straight away decided in just one match, isn't it? Therefore, if there are 2 players, the minimum number of matches required is obviously 1. If there are 3 players, students, please listen to me. If there are 3 players, we require 2 matches to determine a winner. Should I tell you how? This is very simple. If you conduct a match between A and B, you will be having only one winner. So one person is eliminated. And obviously between these 2, we can conduct another match and we can see that the winner is selected. What, man? If there are 2 persons, one match is enough. If there are 3 persons, 2 matches are sufficient to decide the winner. You understand? If there are 2 persons, one match is enough. If there are 3 persons, 2 matches are enough. If there are 4 persons, 3 matches are sufficient. And like that, if you go ahead, when there are 20 players, we require 19 matches to be played. I hope you understand this. What, man? I hope you understand this. Yeah. Therefore, your answer must be 19. Actually, it is not really complicated to answer this question. But the problem is, when there is a big number, 20 is a big number. When there are 20 members in a team, so obviously that is a little bigger number. So you need not straight away take the 20 numbers. We can take some example like 2 numbers and 3 numbers, and slowly we can build up our logic. This is called quantitative reasoning by using your common sense. I hope you understand this. Student, really interesting, because to answer this kind of question, you doesn't need to have any basic information, man. We can simply use our common sense and we can come out of that. I hope you are absolutely convinced. Student, please respond if there is any complaint. If there is any complaint, I will just give one more example. If you think there is no such, we can straight away go to the next question. Come on, man, please respond. Yes or no? Yeah, that's very good. That's very good. That's very good. Yeah, that is very important point, man. That is very, very important point. Yeah. Am I clear to you, students? Shall I move on to next question? Okay, very fine. Now I think now we can move on to next question, man. Question number 4. Come on, read the question. Read the question. Give me your answer, because actually I am giving some time to answer you, because the reason is, oh, what is the meaning of a tournament? Tournament is it is a place where people used to play a game. Yeah, tournament. You never attended for any tournament, students? I think because you the people are fully concentrating on academics. Nowadays, actually, people are usually completely focusing on academics. No sports and no cultural activities. Anyway, right. Come on, student, please. Okay. So you want me to explain again? Sure, sure. Okay, student, please answer this question. Then again, we get back to the previous one. Sure, we do it. Student, actually, so question number 4, if you just look at the question seriously, we can easily answer this question. A housewife cut a cake into two halves, into two halves. For example, if there is any cake, something like this, housewife is actually cutting the cake into two equal halves. I think you understand this. And one half into smaller pieces of equal size, and one half into smaller pieces of equal size. This particular piece into smaller pieces of equal size. How many pieces, man? Each of the small piece is 20 grams. Right. Tell me, student. So this piece she is cutting into 6 parts. How can you say we have 6 parts? Student, the point of saying this is cut into 6 parts, there is a very valid reason for that. The very reason is, if you can see that, if she has 7 pieces of the cake in all, student, when she is having 7 pieces of cake in all, there is only one way to get into this conclusion. These smaller pieces she must be keeping, and this particular piece she is cutting into 6 pieces. There is no other way. You understand that? Okay. Now tell me, and the smaller piece is of 20 grams, and each smaller piece is of 20 grams, which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 into 20, this is 120 grams. When this is 120 grams, obviously this must be 120 grams. 120, 120, the original piece should have been 240 grams. The original piece should have been 240 grams. Yeah. Student, I think, 240 grams is the answer. But okay, there are some confusions. I think, yes, I understand your problem. Probably you will be able to get the answer correct if I give you one more example. Student, please listen to me. I just want to make some changes in the question, and let me see how you answer this question, and probably you will be able to get it right. Yeah, sure. I want to, somebody asking me to explain this question again, I will be doing that. Student, if I say that a housewife cut a cake into 2 halves and cut 1 half into smaller pieces of equal size. Each of the smaller piece is 20 grams in weight. If she has, come on, student, 4 pieces in place of 7, if I give you 4 pieces, then how your answer can be answered? I mean, how you need to change your answer? Here we go. Student, first of all, a housewife is having a big cake, and what she is doing, she is cutting the cake into 2 equal halves. She is cutting the cake into 2 equal halves, and the smaller pieces she is again cutting into some more pieces. But the problem is, how many pieces the smaller one is actually she is cutting? We don't know. Then we have to see, the condition that is given to you. How the condition has to be understood. Student, if you can see that if she has 4 pieces of the cakes in all, so this piece she is keeping just like that. She is not disturbing this particular piece. Probably this particular piece she must be cutting into 3 pieces. How do you know that? 3 plus 1. Therefore, she will be having 4 pieces in all. Because this particular piece she is not cutting any further. Only thing, this particular piece is cutting into 3 parts. At the end, we could see that there are 4 pieces in all. You understand that? And obviously, the size of these pieces is 20 grams. 20, 20, 20, which means this must be 60. If this is 60, this is also 60. 60 plus 60, therefore, the original piece is 120 grams. But man, I hope I am clear to you. Yeah, that's very important. If you really find it difficult, we have to make some changes in the question. Accordingly, we can make a move. That's not a very big issue, man. We can definitely make it. Which one, students? What question you want me to answer? Okay, sure. Okay, sure. Very good, very good. Right, student. Now, student, some of the student is asking me, I want to change a change in the question. In place of 20 grams, if I give you 30 grams, then what is going to be your answer? Please respond. Please respond. In place of 20, if I give you 30, how your answer is going to be? Come on, make it fast. Come on, student. Yeah, please respond. Actually, it is not important to answer many questions. If we answer one particular question with complete details, that gives us a lot of reasoning skills. You understand that? Come on, student, please respond. If this is the question, then what is going to be your answer? If I make this particular change, what is going to be? I think 300 is not correct answer, students. No. Please think about. Please seriously think about. You are not in hurry, man. You are not in hurry. You can take your own time. Wonderful. Wonderful, man. Wonderful. Really, very good. Yes, student, once again. So, we have a bigger cake, something like this. And this particular cake is divided into 2 smaller pieces, this one and this one. And it is also given that this particular piece is further divided. How many pieces it was actually divided? It is not known to us. But at the end, we have a very interesting clue that she has 7 pieces in all. 7 pieces in all, in the sense, this particular piece she has to divide into 6 smaller pieces, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this piece as it is 6 plus 1, that is 7. Therefore, that is very much justified. We are all done. There is no confusion. And another point is the weight of the smaller piece is 30 grams. 30. 6 into 30. Come on, students. 6 into 30 is 180. If this is 180, man, this is also 180. 180, therefore the original piece should have been 360. I hope you understand this. So, the original piece should have been 360. Yeah. Yes, slowly you are getting the point. Very well done, students. So, that's a very important point. Very good. 180 is the smaller piece, but when you are asked to find the weight of the original piece, 180 plus 180, that should be 360. Okay. I think yes, absolutely right. Student, what is my suggestion is, so when you find any question little confusing, the best way to come out of the confusion is take different changes in the question, make sure that you get the answer correct. Okay, not very complicated, you can definitely make it. Come on student, let me give you one more question. Maybe this time you will be able to write. Question number 5. Please answer this question, man. At the end of a business conference, the 8 people present all shake hands with each other once. How many handshakes will there be together? Come on student. How many handshakes will there be together? Student, if you find difficult to answer this question, you can straight away start from the basic simple question. You can take some simple example and you can answer this question. Yeah, please answer. What is your answer? Probably this particular question you might be having in your intermediate as well. No problem, no problem. Don't look into the mass. Don't look into the mass. Oh, somebody seemed to already answered this question, because I know that you might be having the very basic permutation and combinations. Shaking hands is a concept of combinations. Student, to shake hand, we require 2 persons to participate. How many people do we have in this one? We have 8 people in total. So students, when we have 8 people in total, how many shake hands are possible? 6 C2, 8 C2. Therefore, 8 into 7 by 1 into 2. Therefore, there may be 28 shake hands possible. But somebody says 56. Now we need to question whether it is 28 or 56. Shaking hand is a concept of, okay. Students, yes, you can ask me, sir, we don't know mathematics. We are from different background. You can say that, sir, we are from CEC group, we are from MEC group, something like that you can say that. Of course, MEC group you might be having mathematics. But to answer this particular question, you doesn't need any mathematics. But man, am I clear to you? To answer this question, you don't need any mathematical skills. Then how we can answer this question? Simply using your common sense, you can answer this question. Simply using your common sense, you can answer these questions. Shall I explain you, man? Shall I explain you? Please listen to me. If you think that, sir, we don't know any mathematics, no problem, I can still answer your question. Please listen to me. Student, for example, in place of 8 people, if you have only 2 people, then tell me, if you have only 2 people, then how many shake hands are possible? Between A and B, how many shake hands? Only one shake hand, that is between A and B. Okay, because A shake hand once along with B, and B 0, 1 plus 0, 1. For example, if there are 3 people, that is about A, B, C, tell me student, how many shake hands are possible? A shakes hands with B, A shakes hands with C, therefore A will be having 2 shake hands. 2 means with B1, with C1, done. What about B? It is already counted. So B and C, 1, C, 0. Tell me student, AB, AC. Then again, BC. Therefore, how many shake hands are possible if there are 3 people present? 3 shake hands. And for example, if there are 4 people present, for example, A, B, C and D, then how many shake hands are possible? Tell me, man. A shakes hand with B, with C and D. Therefore, 3. And B, of course, with A it was already counted. With B shakes hands with C and D, and C with D, D 0. Tell me how many shake hands are possible, man? So we have 6 shake hands if there are 4 people. AB, AC, AD, 3. You can keep it. Now come to B, BA need not, because AB is already counted. BC, BD. B is eliminated. Then CD. So D's combinations are all over. What man? Am I clear to you? Am I? I hope you understand, student. I hope you understand, student. So this is what we call is simple common sense. This is what we call is very simple common sense. And hence when there are 8 people present, therefore 7 plus 6 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 and 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Therefore 13, 18, 22, 25, 27, 28. And in mathematics it is simply said to be 8C2. 8 into 7 by 1 into 2. Hence your answer is 28. Student, I know that mathematics students could able to get the answer correct, but non-math students, they find little difficult. No problem, student. I will explain this question again tomorrow. But don't be under hurry, man. If there is any little confusion in the question, we can make it fine by using our common sense. It takes some time. But this is going to be the last concept in test of reasoning, quantitative reasoning. We are going to answer this question only by using our common sense without any mathematics. Okay? This is going to be very interesting. You really enjoy this topic, at least for the coming days. For sure, no doubt in it. Thank you, student. Take care, and tomorrow we'll be meeting by 8 o'clock.